What's up, guys? Step Without Child Gamer. Welcome back to Beyond You. I love that little intro that I always do for this game. It's funny. So last episode, this creepy dude or whatever, this creepy vision asked us more questions. I can't remember what, but I know that he asked us questions. And Haruka went mad last video, and she is really hating on everybody. And I don't know if she still is or not, and I think she is, because that's Haruka. But we had a lot going on, so we're gonna go ahead and start the game. In fact, these are all like wicked out of whack for some reason. It does that. It starts out fine, and then you click the load button, and then you return, and they stay like that. So it's like they match this screen now, but they don't match the home screen. All right, so we're gonna leave off where we left off last time. Oh geez, or we're gonna start where we left off last time. I slept terribly again. It's been harder to sleep lately, almost like I can't switch my brain off. There's no rest. No time to rewind. Oh my god, or unwind. Whoa, off to a great start. It's also like 11:41 in the morning. I woke up like 2 hours ago. I'm still kind of groggy, so if I sound really tired or very just that's why. And I'm mainly doing this because I want to get videos out for the beginning of January and stuff. Because like I said in my stream recently that I did, I said that I'm starting to go to the gym every single day of the week now, starting January, and I'm gonna have a lot less time to do like editing and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get all the recording, at least portions, out of the way right during this little break time I have. So I have a lot of videos in my recording folder right now. Oh, I just skipped it accidentally. I'm sorry. Maybe it's anxiety or something like that. At least I woke up to sunlight and just before my alarm. I tapped on my phone to turn off the buzzer before it went off. I sat up, rubbing my sleep-ridden eyes against my awake against my will. I considered skipping, but I couldn't see that through. I'd never skipped a class, not even for illness. My parents would never allow it. Haruka, her dad didn't really care as much about her attendance. I wonder if the other girls have strict parents or strange thoughts to have as I stirred, plodding off to get ready for the day ahead. Cool. Aside from history homework, I pushed aside. My coursework was under control. Given that science had been in such a breeze, homework-wise, it's been easy to stay on top of stuff. Which still left me uneasy, but Haruka seemed to have adjusted to the other girls. I grabbed my backpack and headed for the front door, pleased I was so ahead of schedule. But for all the times Haruka burst with too much energy, she didn't turn up early today, of course. The one time I've been ready for her to get here, and she's late. I checked my time on my phone and go look to the door again, unsure of what to make of her absence. Was she sick? I waited for her as long as I was able to, mindful that she could have gone early to save hassling me. Sometimes she did go to school early to run to the track, or I heaved a sigh. I keep right-clicking, I'm sorry, sending a quick text to her to ask if she was okay. I guess there is a button that like gets rid of the text box. I just don't know what button it is, because I was trying to look at the CG, the first episode of the news version, and I was trying to like right click, and that's what Doki Doki Literature Club does for getting rid of the text box screen, so you can see the picture fully. But in this game, it's just brings it to the save page, which is pretty neat because I don't have to like go to find the save button. But for the most part, I would love to find out how to actually like see like the full broad pictures, especially for the new CGs that are in this game, like Haruka and her backpack on and stuff. That's awesome, by the way. I heaved a sigh, sending a quick text to her to ask if she was okay. I then took the plunge, nerves building in my stomach. The last time she'd not come to school had been pretty bad. What happened last time she didn't come to school? Maybe this is good. Haruka and I can get a little too dependent on one another sometimes. It's good to have space, not to be dependent. I shouldn't need her around, and she shouldn't need me around. Though I'm not sure who needs more of who the most. I never see Haruka talking to other people. Does she even have any other friends, or am I her only friend? And wait, is she my only friend? Do I not have friends? Took you this long to figure that out, Devin? No, there's Ayla. Yeah, that's a friend, alright. That's kind of an awkward friend, to say the most, because you two went out with each other and you still talk somehow. And the girls in science, this is good. If you can talk to an ex-girlfriend after like going through dating and stuff for a while, then I mean you're on good terms. You're fine. You're dandy. I have nothing against that. It's just like I feel like in most case scenarios, if there's a breakup, it's for a terrible reason, and more times than not, it's very awkward to talk to like exes and stuff, because then it's like, hey, we used to like kiss and stuff, and it's like, this is good. Then why does it feel so awful? I sighed heavily. My eye is twitching. My eye's been twitching for the past week, and I don't know why. I hope I'm drinking enough water, to be completely honest, because this is like, my left eye keeps twitching every single day, and it's like non-stop for a week. I sighed heavily, kicking at a rock along the roadside. I needed to stop focusing on Haruka for now. She would be at school, probably just forgetting to see me before she walked the rest of the way. I shouldn't make it out to be worse than it actually is. I had classes to think about and plenty of new people to talk to. As if I focused too much on Haruka, I'd worry, and it'd be worse for the both of us. Instead, I need to make sure that I'm ready for class and ready to deal with those girls from Anami. There were only a few students miling around outside the school, and I could see a few smoking by the corner of the campus. I avoided eye contact as they shot looks my way. I charged forward into the school grounds, not eager to get into a fight with others. That was more of Ayla's job, maybe even Aiko's, not that I'd ever see her get mad. I keep right-clicking, darn it. I wonder what Kana and Yumi would say about such a thing. The truth was, I hardly knew these girls still. Haruka would have obnoxiously coughed their direction and flipped them off. It wasn't surprising she got into a lot of fights. I don't know who's more in the right there, though. I mean, like, she makes her point. Like, you're not supposed to smoke, and it's kind of a dick move to do on campus. But, to be completely honest, it's also not a good idea to get yourself into trouble that you really shouldn't be. Because if you just ignore it, then, I mean, like, it continues to happen. But if you don't, I guess it backfires on you anyway. The first class is, a study period? Really? I hadn't checked my timetable too thoroughly, though it didn't matter. Even though it was one of those classes that one can skip, they still took attendance. Some people studied while others goofed around. Haruka didn't turn up for homeroom, though maybe she'd turn up on even earlier than me. And I didn't actually know what the other classes, what class the other girls were in. The question was, how would I use my time? The library, the track field, hide in the stairwell. Oh yeah, that's what I did last time, didn't I? I think when I hid in the stairwell, that's when Yumi popped around the corner and we had a talk and stuff. And Yumi, I think when I remember last time from the last update we played, I guess Yumi's a smoker. Don't know how I feel about that, but I mean, I respect their decisions. But I think this time I'm gonna check the track field, mainly because I'm gonna try and do the Haruka route. Because, as I've said before, Haruka is kind of my favorite character out of Beyond You. Just like Sayori is. I don't know what's mean, like, childhood friends being my favorites. I don't know. I guess because they're my childhood friend, I feel like I have the obligation to be close to them. But I think we're going to check the track field. Because I feel like the library is Aiko's thing, because she's a smart person. Stairwell would be Yumi, because I remember from thing. Or I can get some food. That might also be a Haruka thing. You know what? No, it's not a Haruka thing. It's a Kana thing. I remember that. If I remember properly from playing an older version, Kana was eating food and stuff or whatever, like a bento box or something of those sorts. Check the track field. I'm going to save, actually. Can I save right here? I think I will. And we're going to see which one of these are Aiko. I mean, which one of these are Haruka. Check the track field. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's loud. I love this song. This is one of my favorite songs out of the soundtrack. I listen to this, like, this is one of the songs that replay over and over again on my Spotify. Maybe I was right, too, about Haruka being at the track field. Only way to find out. Their track field was next to the bleachers. A fence kept the field separate from the rest of the campus. As I approached, my eyes settled on the runners I could see. A few students sped around the field, dressed for PE. Though, strangely, I saw Haruka in her uniform, seated on the outskirts of the field. Her hair was freshly washed in a duffel bag set next to her. She looked exhausted. There you are. Oh, she looks sad. Devin, I told you I was coming in early today. I did tell you, didn't I? Oh no, I didn't, did I? She turned with owlishly, whoa, wide eyes. Her mouth popped open as I approached. Whoa! No, you didn't. Or no, you didn't. I agreed to help pick new recruits for track team this year. Tryouts were this morning. It means extra credit, but I'm so dumb. She slapped her hand against her forehead, hard enough that I heard the impact. I forgot to tell you. I caught her wrist before she could smack her head again, taking a seat beside her on the bench. She flinched harder than I expected, and the wince lingered in her expression. She brushed it off when she saw me staring. She smelled like soap and deodorant, which was familiar in that she trained often. It varied. Sometimes she wasn't feeling like training. Her dad didn't let her sit for long, though. You wanted to do extra credit work? She nodded enthusiastically. I could see the hint of hurt that most would miss. I let it pass, not wanting to pry it now. You know I love running. Yeah, but getting up that early? Her expression faltered as she shrugged away the topic. I needed to talk to you anyway. I would hope so. I can't remember the voices I did for this game, so I'm just not going to do them right now. Not to mention I'm wicked tired still. I'm exhausted from waking up in the morning. She snorted, ugly and loud, her smile split even wider. Yeah, well, it's about Minami. She looked over her shoulder conspiratorially, then back to me. She took my wrist in her hand and yanked me to my feet. It took a little coaxing for me to follow her under the bleachers. Her two wide eyes and gentle smile, an invitation in itself. She licked her lips and drew open her duffel bag, which she then let fall to the floor. In her hand was her phone, which had been switched off. She turned it back on and frowned as several vibrations went off. She had the look in her face that her father had called, which made my stomach sink. It was hurt and panicked, but she hid it well. I accidentally clicked, I'm sorry. I just knew her enough to catch a false smile. When will the boys stop texting me, huh? She giggled softly as she thumbed through her phone. I waited patiently, leaning against the metal. We hung out here plenty of times between her track meets, after school. It felt almost like our spot. I could see the little heart she had drawn with her name and a boy she liked. And no, I wasn't the boy she liked. Not according to the heart, anyway. I took some simple joy from how she'd scribble out his name. The boy had called her weird and torn up the handmade card in front of her. Oh, jeez, that's like a big slap to the face. If anybody ever did that, like if I saw anybody ever do that, I would be so pissed at them. Like, somebody takes the time out of their day to make you like a makeshift card, and you just go and rip it up. Like, that's not even okay. Like, you could have just said no, thank you, or like, sorry, I'm with somebody else, or I'm not in the mood for it right now. But nah, you have to go and rip up the card in front of the person who gave it. That's not okay. Never do that. And if you do that, I have no respect for you. As I narrowly avoided the suspension on the grounds of self-defense, I don't remember much from that incident. I do know that I hate seeing Haruka hurt by anyone, even her own father. We hear a lot about her father. What is going on with her father? I don't know that part of the story. That I want to learn more about. I wanted to know what the heck's going on with her father. Apparently she doesn't care about her attendance, but it seems like he's also like this, like, I don't know. I don't want to say abusive because I don't know the story yet, but like, it sounds like he's not a good person, if I do say so myself. And it kind of sounds like this is like striving towards more of a Kanatsuki route. Oh jeez, I want to know more about that story. So, Haruka held her phone aloft for me to look at. Suspected arson at Minami School? So? Haruka scoffed loudly from the back of her throat. Ooh, she doesn't like that. And empathetically zoomed on the article. Does she just not care? As she turned the phone back, it locked. I tried not to laugh as she let out a sound of frustration, shaking her phone. as if it could feel its punishment or something. Here. I was one of the few people Haruka could actually lean against the shoulder of without having to crouch. I felt a mild sense of pride in that. It says that it was a wiring fault, but if that was the case, the school would have been closed. Like, no way they're going to keep it open if it's going to burst at any second. And it was the last week of school. No students were even there, not for classes, except like, she skimmed the article before she jabbed a finger at the article. Less than a dozen students, with 3 year 11 girls injured, or killed. I looked over the information. All this proves that one of the girls we're working with might have gotten injured. Which is all the more reason to be nice to them, don't you think? Okay, but what about the girl who went missing? Are you suggesting we have a secret missing girl with us too? It's weird is all. These girls, 3 new girls in our class, it was 4 girls and 2 are dead. I love how I did 4 and then 2 behind the camera. You'll never see that, but I literally did 4 girls and 2 were dead, but I don't know why I did that. It's like I'm like in the story. The other is missing. I fail to see your point. Haruka moved away from me to pivot on her heel and glare. You don't think this is weird at all? The only thing weird is you, or what can we do, or I agree it's weird. I'm going to save it right here, and I'm going to say, what can we do? What can we do? I don't know. Exactly. I get where you're coming from, but 2 of the girls died and the other 2 are either missing or alive but deserving of empathy. No accusation. Why would they set fire to a building and stay in it? Even then, only one of them could have been there for it. So which is it then? I sighed deeply, my hands pressed on my face. I felt like a rat on a wheel, going to the spot non-stop with no real change. Please, let this go. The corner of Haruka's mouth twitched tightly, her lashes fluttering. You've been on edge since we met them. There's more to this than just Manami. Just talk to me, please. I'm being paranoid, yes, but you have to agree it's weird. It's like they changed school to match their needs. Like, did they threaten Mr. Saito to change the class guidelines? I doubt it, Haruka. Like I keep saying, one student isn't gonna make that much of an impact on our school. I care about you the most, okay? I nudged her with my elbow, to which she nuzzled her nose against me. I heard the sound of a kiss against. Oh, jeez. She just kissed me? Buried it into my side rather than anywhere a kiss should be placed. Did she actually just kiss me? She puffed out a stray piece of fluff that had been attached to her lips. Her hand moved again to rest against her mouth as she considered the phone. Haruka worried her thumbnail between her teeth. So, to summarize, a few students passed away and one of them survived. And you want to shake it out of them who went through that traumatic event. Haruka smacked my arm gently, her bottom lip pouted out. When you say it like that, it sounds bad, yeah. I'd feel better to know. Why even hide that? I wouldn't have been so mean to them if I'd known. You could just be nice. No one is ever nice to me, except you. She looked at me with an intense glint in her eye, as if she had something else to say. I asked if you were jealous in class yesterday, and you didn't answer. And then, yesterday afternoon, you saw me with Ayla. I could practically see her bristle at the mention of class, and the way her frown shifted when I mentioned Ayla. So? If I'm jealous... if she had to force that out, her gaze... my throat. I got a lot of shit in my throat today, I don't know why. Her gaze shifted to the dirt beneath us. Ooh, this is the Haruka theme. I can't remember if it's part 1 or 2, but holy crap, it's like unless this isn't the Haruka theme, I don't know. It's gotta be the Haruka theme. We're talking to Haruka, and she's the only one around. I can't remember the names of the songs, I'm gonna be completely honest, but they're all freaking amazing. I love that I can just like talk about the soundtrack because I've listened to it for so long. You're mine, I'm yours. Isn't that how it's always been? It's not a question, even though she's phrased it like one. The bluntness should be expected, but it isn't. Quite the opposite. The way she said it so matter-of-factly took my breath away. I'm yours? That reminds me of that Jason Mraz song, I'm yours. She gave me a firm nod, only to hesitate. Is that too much? I just like having you around. You make me feel safe, and you don't expect anything from me. Well, you asked me to do stuff, but you don't... She shuffled her hands against her arms, as if a chill picked up around her. I moved to place my hands on her shoulders to fold her into a hug. You got home late, and he wasn't happy? She nodded, wordlessly. I held back further questions for now. I wanted to ask where she slept, if she'd run away again. Had she come back to school? Is that why she was really here so early? She leaned into me with ease, her arms wrapped around me without question. I felt easier than I expected. It felt easier, I'm sorry, but then again, it was a hug. We'd done this countless times. But there was a difference in how she held the edges of my shirt and pulled me that little bit closer. Oh, here we go. This is where things are starting to change. This is where, this is something I've completely haven't seen before, because the last time we got this far, we went to the stairwell and talked to Yumi, and even then it wasn't like a romantic kind of thing, I don't remember anyway. But Haruka, on the other hand, we've talked to her for so long that this is like coming a lot quicker than it did. Her hand smoothed against my lower back and then formed into a fist. I can feel her shake, excuse me, once, twice. She's good at crying quietly, a sad skill to have. We stayed like that for a long while. My hands soothed through her hair at the nape of her neck. I never grabbed her or pulled at her. Such acts were too close to what caused her to break now. I ignored the way a small smear of makeup had been imprinted onto my shirt. Woo! God damn it, Devin, put that skirt away. I ignored the smear of the purple along her temple. My hair is itchy, which she brushed her hair over. I ignored the lack of eye contact or explanation, and I hate myself for not knowing what more to offer her, for wounds I can't protect her from. But I hold her hand, fingers intertwined, and a look exchanged. I don't look at her bruise or how her... Oh, so maybe he is abusive. That's not a good thing. Or how her hand shakes. I meet her watery eyes and smile softly, encouragingly. A year from now, we'll be out of here. Think you can hold out? She hesitated, but nodded eagerly, desperate to cling to anything that isn't now. Time seems to stop and all go all at once. As the bell sounds in the distance, we walk in tandem towards the school. The only thing that remained, from our conversation beneath the bleachers was the thoughts running through my head. I can't tell if we're a thing now or not. I can't tell. Like, she kissed me in a really stupid, I think she kissed our clothing or something. And we had like this really romantic hug. But it was never like described that we were a thing. I don't know if we're a thing or not. I was glad to have found Haruka earlier. It gave me a chance to catch up with her before class. We sat in silence for most of it, but she seemed more at ease now. It wasn't until the bell rang for lunch that she seemed to come alive again. I wish math didn't exist. I mean, it doesn't, or does it? Don't be a nerd. A lot of people have theorized about whether math or not math is real. Don't start. She laughed and shoved me in good nature. You didn't have to take math, you know. But you were taking it. But I enjoy math. You, on the other hand, I wanted to be with you. It's not much, but I like being in class with you. Even if you fail them. I don't fail at them, I just don't do so good. Which is fine, because I'm with you. She split off for the track and field again, and I let her go. I never wanted to crowd her or demand she stay by my side. She had her own interests and hobbies, and I had lunch to eat. And this is where Kana comes in. I already ate. One muffin isn't a meal, Kana. Oh, hello, Devin. Would you like to join us for lunch? I brought extra, and Yumi usually eats it, but I haven't seen her. She's in the stairwell, that's why. In any case, I have food, and it needs to be eaten. With that, Aiko walked over to an empty table to unpack the bento box. I was right! From her backpack. She pulled out 2 decent-sized boxes filled with rice balls, dumplings, and an assortment of fish and vegetables. I could really honestly go for some fish and veggies right now. That sounds like the bomb. Kana stared at the food and then at Aiko. Where's the sweets, She picked up one of the inari and stuffed it into her mouth. You get what you get, Kana. I'm surprised you don't have a packed lunch, given. She looked at Kana. I have one, but it's really boring and like all vegetables and... She paused to meet my eye. Aiko and I were the weirdo rich kids at Minami. No one called us weirdos. Kana raised an eyebrow at her arms crossed to the table in front of her. Maybe not to your face, but they called me a weirdo all the time. Aiko resisted a retort, just barely. I could keep right-clicking! She shot a sidelong glance at me, nervous in her place. You volunteered to tutor delinquents in your free time. That's pretty weird. It's... It's for the additional credits. And your dad worked with my dad. What does that have to do with anything, period, for some reason, and not a question mark? Kana shrugged a shoulder, her arms still crossed. People were nice to you for the same reasons they were nice to me. Expensive birthday presents, free lift homes, helicopter rides. I would love a helicopter ride. She snorted loudly. I've been on a plane. I've never been on a helicopter. Free food. My shoulder. This hasn't happened in a long time. But do you guys remember back in the day where I used to like have really bad shoulder pains and stuff in my right shoulder whenever I was playing Doki Doki Literature Club for like an hour? Back when I still did the hour recordings. Oh boy, that was the day. I had to do hour recordings of DDLC. I think it was during the New Eyes time. And it was really such a pain to actually like hold my shoulder like that for the longest time. In fact, a few episodes I've switched to the controller before just to not have to move my shoulder around. Aiko pulled her bentos closer protectively. That was the days. People were nice to me because I was nice, and people that weren't mean to you, and people weren't that mean to you, were they? Kana shot Aiko an incredulous look. People were nice to me, barely. I had to be a bitch to get them to respect me, though. People eat you alive, and if you're nice. She grabbed another inari, stuffing the whole thing to her mouth. I think you can win people over by being nice. Not that you should win people over. It's an expression. She exhaled, looking at me for support. So, people treated you both differently because you were rich? Minami School wasn't illustrious by any means. It was actually quite crappy. Aiko shot Kana an annoyed look. It was a lower-income school. My parents sent me there in lieu of a private school, and as we had a family ties to it. My mother went there, and she learned many things within the school. They didn't want me to be spoiled or something like that. They wanted me to get by on my own merit. And I transferred there. Aiko shot Kana, a concerned look. I was let go from a school I attended. I didn't even do anything wrong. Our parents were friends, so they recommended that Kana join me as I was doing well. Kana toyed with a chopstick as we worked through the box lunches. Fun. So why'd you get kicked out? I love that. That's exactly where I'm taking this. I'm gonna say that, but I need to figure out. Okay, number 3. Why'd you get kicked out? Why'd you get kicked out? They found that I'd been attending therapy. Her jaw tightened around her words as she twitched suddenly. I didn't do anything bad either. I was just seeing someone about some stuff. You shouldn't get kicked out for asking for help. It's bullshit. Kana. It is though. That school sucked anyway. Everyone was so stuck up. But I joined a class in year 11 and I knew no one. Just Aiko. I made like 2 other friends, but even then, it doesn't even matter. I'm gonna get out of school. I keep hurting my shoulder. To learn psychology and help people. Make sure people can get help. Aiko cleared her throat softly and sent us each a smile. We ate in an easy silence for a while, and with the occasional comment about the quality of the food Aiko had brought. But I felt the question chew at my brain. I just spit everywhere. I apologize. Were either of you there for the fire? You don't have to answer, but I looked at them both, my elbow set on the edge of the table. I had been there during the week and on the same day, but I don't remember the fire. You probably repressed it, or... She blinked before her eyes shut. She reopened them, uncertain for a moment, then focused on me. I don't think we should talk about that. Kana, you're being suspicious now. I shrugged a shoulder and my hands raised to concede defeat. I wasn't asking to be rude, but it is rude. We weren't here to be interrogated, even if you had good intentions. Oh, jeez, she's being very suspicious now. We deserve better than that. We went through a lot. The unflinching eye contact was enough to push my gaze away as I took my final piece of salmon. I looked at Kana, unsure of why she'd slid into such a defensive stance. She alternated between sweet and strict rapidly. Her voice sounded off, unlike the girl who we'd spoke to earlier. The bell sounded, lunch ended. Aiko and Kana waved and split off in their afternoon classes. Very, very suspicious. Haruka and I then walked home after school, as we normally did. In truth, I was surprised that Ayla hadn't come to see me about Kana. She had practically chased me down over that yesterday. I finished up my history paper and a few pages of my math homework. I was thankful that stop right-clicking! Had been so slack with no specific homework given of yet. We had that class tomorrow, so no doubt that could change. The group chat. Oh, or not? Is it Ayla? It is Ayla. Have you talked to Kana yet? No, not yet. I mean, I tried, technically. I didn't feel comfortable asking about her. What do you mean? I had to find Haruka first, and then I had to eat lunch with Aiko and Kana. Even after I told you that I needed to spend time with Kana. Of course. You waste your time with that loser. Ugh. I don't know who you think you are. Tell me who I spend my time with. Don't be so selfish. It's for the safety of the school. I'm not going to pry into her traumas for no reason. If it really mattered to you, you'd go spend time with Kana yourself. She wouldn't be at the school if it was that big of a danger. I don't get why you're acting like she's the victim. She's the one who hears voices and got kicked out of a private school for it. Bet she failed to mention that. She thinks she's a bunch of people at once. Isn't that insane? You don't even care about the girls she killed through her mental breakdown. Being mentally ill doesn't make you a killer. Whether she hears voices or not, it doesn't matter. You can't use it as proof that she killed someone. It takes 2 seconds to look it up. People with that word or dissociative disorders are usually victims, not killers. No sane person kills people. They do, actually. I'm not stalking Kana on your behalf. End of discussion. Why is Ayla so desperate to prove that Kana did something wrong? What does it change? Who set the fire? I know it's important to work out who did it, but if one of the girls started the fire, they almost died in it. So why would they do such a thing? Unless they didn't want to survive it. Ooh, that's a different thought process altogether. Holy shit. Oh boy. It's just nothing? Do you believe you're smarter than artificial intelligence? Oh god, no. Do you think you are above cybernetic enhancement? I don't know what the fuck that is, but probably not. Thursday. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna leave it right here. So, guys, oh my god, my shoulder. That was a fun episode. We had a very interesting connection with Haruka, and we had a very funny conversation with Ayla, and things are going very well. For my standards, things are going very well. We aren't gonna stalk Kana, and we're getting closer, I'm feeling, to spending our life with Haruka. So, with that being said, I'm going to end this on a good note. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, smash that like button, subscribe if new. I'd love it if the channel. Guys, we got a Discord. Come check me out outside of YouTube. We've got a fun time for all. Hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making up. Guys, in my next one. Goodbye.